Hello, good morning. Good morning. This is Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show. How are you today? Hello, good morning. Give me that phone. Hello, Samantha. Sorry we're starting late. It's been having a technical problem. Good morning, Precious Shad. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Put on that light. Thank you so much. Thank you. Finally. Good morning. It's not my fault, my dear. It's not my fault, you know. I think the devil doesn't want me to talk about this thing. But yeah, I'm here now, so I'm going to talk about it. Good morning. This is Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show. Good morning, everyone. I was trying to look for, it's network. You know, it's so terrible these days. I don't know why. I left the house, I came to the office just to make sure that it's working. But yeah, I'm here now. Good morning. Good morning, Anita. Good morning, Susan. This is Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show. My name is Hino. Yes. I know you've already seen the topic. Wonderfully Made Woman Talk Show aims to address issues relating to women and girls in a holistic context. And for the past few weeks, we've been talking about reality check of adult lives. So we've been talking about, you know, issues, affairs of the heart, issues that affect women and girls, and of course the men out there, how we can be real to ourselves, to rekindle our love life, to make things work for ourselves and all that. So that is what we've been talking about. And today I will be talking about bad breath and body odor, how it affects relationship, how people can actually improve their hygiene, you know, in a relationship. Hi, Anita. Good morning. Long time. So I will encourage you to please share your opinions and talk about, you know, your comments. Hello, Mike. Thank you for joining. I want you to share your opinion. I want you to, you know, share your views on this topic, bad breath, body odor. How does it affect relationship? You know, it's amazing to know that when I put up that post, you know, I like to get people talking. And in the process of that, it's amazing how many messages I've actually received from men, from women, talking about how, you know, this has really affected their relationship. And I'm wondering why, you know, couples and partners can't talk about it. You know, you've been with your husband or your wife for years and they have bad breath. You can't talk about it. You know, it shows that there's so much communication gap in our community, in our relationship, and we can see reason why a lot of things are not going on the way it should go in our relationship. So thank you so much for joining in. We're talking about reality check. Just before we continue, I want to quickly let you know that Wonderfully Made Woman is actually a registered charity in England and Wales, helping women and girls build their confidence so they can thrive. And if you're a man watching, don't be discouraged. Do not go away. Like I always say that, you know, if you were born of a woman, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining in. If you're born of a woman, you know, you've got girlfriends, you've got wife, you are associated with women, then this show is for you because you've got a lot to learn to teach your wives, to teach your daughters. So men, thank you, John. I want you to please share your views. It's a reality show. I want you to tell me your opinion, how you feel about this topic and the previous episode that we have treated. But just to quickly let you know that Wonderfully Made Woman is a registered charity. I'm saying this because people have been sending messages to say, you know, after your talk show, we don't know how to get in touch. We're actually a registered charity in England and Wales, helping women and girls build their confidence. We also have the relationship part, which is affairs of the heart. That's for men and women. So if you're a man and you're struggling with your relationship, based on the topics that I've treated, in the past and in few weeks ago about this episode, do contact us. So we have our activities on Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursdays, and of course today, Friday, where we talk about, you know, issues that affect people, you know, and we've got faith projects, and we've got community projects. Our faith projects is the prayer that we have every last Saturday of the month. We've got Christmas projects, we've got Easter projects, we've got outreach for widows and single mothers and those in need in general. We also have community projects, which most of you will know or you have seen on our Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. We've got free support, one-to-one support counseling. We've got domestic abuse awareness, which you know that we talk about all the time. We talk about female genital mutilation, confidence building, hate crime, and so on. If you want to know more about what we do, kindly go on our website, www.wonderfullymadewoman.org. You can also follow our activities on our social media, Wonderfully Made Woman on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and of course our Twitter handle is at WMadeWoman on Twitter. You will see a lot of our posts on Twitter. So for the past few weeks, a lot of you know that I'm very passionate when it comes to relationship. I'm very, very passionate when it comes to relationship. And I've realized that for years and years, you know, we've been talking about how to rekindle your love life, how to, you know, how women should treat their man, how men should treat their women, and all of that. But I realized that a lot of things that people are not talking about, people being in a relationship with themselves, like we said in episode 1, people you know, confused when relationship breaks down, because relationship actually do break down. You know, we always have to face reality that relationship doesn't always work out, and when it does happen like that and the children involved, what do? You know, we've also talked about, you know, looking good, how you feel about yourself, your body image, how it affects your relationship, how it affects the people around you, how it affects your mental well-being. We've talked about that as well. Today we're talking about bad breath. Bad breath, you know. And that's why I said, sis, I feel very uncomfortable with friends having bad breath, and I tell them, however, I have never been in a relationship with anyone with bad breath. Apparently, I will not, because it's a huge turn off for me. Thank you, Pastor Stephen, for joining. Thank you, Hi Chief Musa, for joining. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, I really need you to share your views. I really need you to share your views. It says, bad breath is a turn off for her. If ever I do, I will make sure I tell my partner about it. So this is Samantha sharing her views. You know, does your partner have a bad breath? What do you do? You know, it's amazing how people, you know, I'm not going to do the formal definition and all that. I really want to pour my heart out today. When you meet a man or you meet a woman, yeah, we're talking about relationship now. I know there are friends and colleagues, family members who have bad breath. So you can also link it up. But I'm honestly talking about relationship, in a relationship where a partner or both partners got bad breath. Maybe if they're two, they don't even know that they have bad breath, but you are in a relationship. For example, you're a woman, you know, you meet this guy and, you know, you like him and all that, but anytime he talks, you know, you're turning your face, you know, it's so sad. How do you tell that woman or that man that, you know, your breath stinks? And what do you do? What are the steps that you take? Because it's a very sensitive topic. So Precious Shard, hi Chief, good morning, good topic, wonderfully made. Thank you. Can you please share your views? What would you do if your partner or your friend's partner, now so it doesn't look as if is your partner who's got bad breath? If you know someone who is complaining that his or her partner's got bad breath or body odor, what should that person do? Hello, sis Tina Turner, thank you. Thank you so much. What would you do? What would that partner, what do you want that partner to do if they've got bad breath? It shows that bad breath affects relationships so much. Bad breath can either kill a relationship, bring communication gap, you know, in a relationship. So if you are a woman and your husband or your partner or your boyfriend's got bad breath, how does it affect you? I'm going to read some, where is it? I'm going to read some messages I actually got from some men and women, you know, to realize that this is a big issue in our communities, and I've never seen any relationship event address this topic. A man said to me, "Wonderfully made woman, thank you so much for talking about this particular topic." He actually emphasized this particular topic. Honestly, I have told my wife that her mouth stinks. She wakes up in the morning not wanting to brush, eats, and it's so difficult, you know, for her to change. I've been married for 8 years, and in that 8 years, kissing has been a no-no for me. I'm having affairs because of that. I'm not justifying my action, but how honestly do I tell my wife that it is a bad thing in our relationship? So can you share your views? This is a man complaining of the wife, that the wife has bad breath. He's told the wife to brush in the morning. You know, the wife doesn't want to brush, and she eats, and that has really affected their relationship to a point that they don't kiss anymore. I've had messages where another woman, I don't want to mention name, I was almost tempted to mention name now. She said to me, "Wonderfully made woman, do you know I have been married for 12 years, and for 12 years I struggle to kiss my husband. Even when I tell him, he tells me that his ex-girlfriends never complained. This is a big issue for me. Please, what do I do? Your husband has bad breath, your wife got bad breath." Honestly, in a relationship, I want to talk and especially address, you know, African people, where we think that we know so much, you know, especially the men. I will start with the men. And that's because I work with a lot of women, and women talk about these things. You know, women talk about everything when it comes to relationship. And I'm also knowing that men do talk as well. Now, in a relationship, when a woman, let me just read the Precious Child. Thank you. He said, bad breath is either caused by poor hygiene or it may be a sign of health problem. One should be conscious about their appearance and presentation. If hygiene is not a factor, then check with your GP. Thank you so much. Tina Turner says, I can't stand bad breath. I will call the person and let him or she knows about it. Thank you so much. So if your spouse, yeah, it could be for health reasons. So if you know that you brush well, you know, you actually take care of yourself, and yet you still have that bad breath, I've actually read it that it could be for health reason. So please do go to your dentist or to your GP to let them know what your problem is. Always know that this is a problem and you can talk about it. And if your spouse, you know, is there to help you, to support you, you can work together as a team to actually, you know, reduce that bad breath, or see how, you know, you can actually terminate that bad breath. But let's talk about relationship. A woman meets a man. A lot of women have actually complained to me, you know, when we do our affairs of the heart and we talk about relationship. And I'm amazed to see a lot of women who have come out to say, you know, I don't kiss anymore. And I'm wondering, you know, as funny as it is, and I look at these people and tell myself, if you're in a relationship, yeah, you are in a relationship and you are not bold to kiss your partner. You are not bold to kiss your partner. You're not bold to hug your partner because of the body odor or because of the bad breath. How do you think that relationship can stand the test of time? So if you're a woman, you meet a man who's got bad breath, or you're already be dating, you're now married, and, you know, you just noticed, whether from the beginning or not, you know, when we talk about courtship, when we talk about being a friend before you become lovers, when we talk about counseling before marriage, these are the issues that we talk about. So in our organizations and in affairs of the heart, which will be doing an event very soon, and we're going to be practical. So the reason I'm taking you through this episode is because there's an event coming, and it's going to be a reality couples relationship event where people will be transformed. It's not a normal relationship event you'll be going in your church or whatever, you know, dressing up to come, and after you come for that event, everything still stays the same. We're talking about real life issues. So just know why I'm taking you through this episode. Now, if you have somebody or your husband's breast stinks, before you got married, let's say you are in a relationship and you are going through counseling. If you're not going through counseling, please do look for an organization that can actually help you through this process. You know, when people go for counseling, most times they tell us women about Proverbs 31 woman, how a woman should keep her home, how a woman should be neat, how a woman should put food on the table and all of that. We don't honestly talk about this kind of issues because we assume that those things are being taken care of. When we are talking to men and counseling them before marriage, we tell the man that the man is the provider. A man is supposed to provide for the home, to work and to take care of the family. We don't talk about hygiene really. We just say, oh, be neat, be this. But there are people who are not neat. There are people whose mouths really stinks. You know, I've seen people, sometimes couple, and I'm wondering in my head, is it that they don't perceive this thing? Or is it that they have grown to love themselves that way and just stay that way? You know, I had messages from 18 women yesterday night telling me, you know, for the past years, I have not kissed my husband. Do you know that is living in bondage? So how do you express yourself? How do you make love? Where does it start from? If you cannot hug your husband or hug your wife, you cannot honestly, you know, kiss your husband or kiss your wife or your partner. That relationship, where does it stand? If your spouse has bad breath and you cannot say, oh, sweetheart, or honey, or Jumbo, or Papa John, or whatever, say, you know what, I need you to clean up. I need you to clean your mouth. It's becoming a big issue. Oh, thank you, my daddy, Pastor Abimbola Komolafe. Thank you, Pastor Andrew. Thank you so much, Pastor Kosh, Stephen Kosh. I appreciate this. Please, you know, when we're talking about bad breath in a relationship, a lot of women, a lot of men are complaining. If I bring the survey, you know, when we have that event, I'm going to bring the survey we've had for the past few weeks doing a research about men and women. Pastor Andrew, you're laughing, but it's a big issue in a relationship. You know, you see the woman wants to kiss the man the man wants to kiss, you know, they're moving their faces up and down. And I'm wondering if the Bible says that this man and woman, they were naked and they were not ashamed. Why are we ashamed to tell our spouse this is an issue in our relationship and we need to deal with it? And when your spouse tells you, honestly, my husband or my wife, you know, I think your body stinks, or I think you should use this deodorant, or I think you should brush before you sleep or brush in the morning. Why are we so aggressive when they try to correct us? These are the little issues, we call little, that affects our relationship. These are issues that, you know, gradually breaks our relationship. Oh, thank you, Minister Adedapo, for joining. These are issues that people don't talk about. We do relationship events all the time. Valentine is coming, we do relationship event, we do red carpet, we talk about, tell me what your wife likes most, do the couple dance. Those are good. After those events, and we actually pack up that event and we enter our cars, has this issue been addressed? Sometimes when people do events, do they take evaluation and monitor the progress of that event that they have done? The very first Affairs of the Heart we did in 2013, I can still say with humility, I have yet to see a couples event that has beat that event that we did. Because I go for events, I see them live on Facebook. People don't talk. This is a real issue. You know, a couple, you lie on the same bed with your husband or your wife, and when it's time to make love, the woman is taking her face away. And as the man, you're not sensitive to say, oh, is my mouth smelling? Let me get up and wash. You know, let me wash my mouth. You are not even, especially African men, I'm sorry to say, a lot of women are complaining. You know, especially in this country that the weather is cold. Oh my God. People don't take their baths anymore. You go and see parents dropping their children in school. You can practically tell that they didn't even go into the bathroom. They go into the shop this is what time now? This is 11:30. You can still tell on their face that they have not even washed their face. Then you come back, you just start eating and eating. You open your legs. I'm going to come to body odor, but let me talk about this mouth odor. And when you talk to your friends, you know, when we were growing up, I used to always tell people, my old friends, garlic bread. That's another one. If you're the type that eats garlic, please, maybe look for a GP or find out what you can take after eating that garlic. You know, you go to some places when they open their mouth, you want to run. You want to run. Somebody is talking to you, you're carrying your face. How sensitive are we? Men, when your wife tells you, oh, you know, in fact, you need to be sensitive when you are dating. This courtship we're talking about is not just the finances, where you're going to live, the kind of marriage you want to have. No. When you start dating and you find out that this man, you know, he's got bad breath. A lot of African men, I'm sorry to say, most African men do deep dive. They are not bothered about kissing. That's another issue, Professor Shad. You know, we have discussed that before. You know, most African men, you know, women are very sensitive. Women, if you know how deep women think when it comes to relationship, if you know the imaginations women have, if you know the fantasy that women can create up there, when it comes to relationship, you will realize that a lot of African men are failing. And because most of these women can't cheat, they just die in silence. For the man, it's easier because you can just tell your wife, you know, I don't like this, you're smelling, you're this, I'm going to have a girlfriend. But for most women, I'm not saying women don't cheat, they can't. So they just live in a world of fantasy. And I've seen women who have told me, you know, do you know that before I make love to my husband, I think of my ex? A lot of women, Christian women, are actually committing adultery in their mind. A lot of Christian women are committing adultery in their hearts because of this. What are we doing in our communities, in our churches, when we talk about relationship? If we say that God, you know, honors this marriage and is the greatest thing that God honors, why do we not go deep in addressing issues that relate to relationship? You will be amazed how many relationships are dead. There's so many people living together, so many married but that are single. A lot of people are just living under the same roof, but in the sight of God, they're not married because of issues like this. If you have a spouse, thank you, Pastor Andrew. Foreplay starts with a smile, a hug, and kisses. Get it right, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are not, you know, men, please. We are not trying to abuse you. I'm talking as a woman and for women. If you say you love your wife, or let's say you have daughters and you want the best for your daughters, treat your wife well. You cannot want to make love to your wife and you just dive. Like Precious Shad said, you're not clean, you're not bothered about your body, some men don't brush 2 days, 3 days. They're just eating. Then when you want to have sex with your wife, you think she's not going to move her face? she's going to move her face. And for women, when you don't, that foreplay is not there, you know, those things that will make her really be in the mood, then it's a problem. Pastor Stephen says hygiene of the mouth and body odor starts from childhood. Many have not had the privilege of taking care of those too when they were young. Wow, that's another angle. You know, some parents are so busy, maybe some are even orphans. They never bothered about their body. But when they become grown up, let's assume it started from childhood. Your primary school, nursery, uni, nobody could tell you that, oh, you're bad breath, you have bad breath, or you have body odor. And God now blesses you with a woman or a man, so to say. Now, when you meet that person who says, oh, you know what, I love you, I think that person should be able to tell you. And when you are told, take correction. Take correction. Most people, we don't take correction. When your husband tells you your mouth is smelly, you get angry. Have you actually checked, you know, to see, oh, I think my mouth is, you know, I think it's smelling. And you laugh about it. You go and brush your mouth. When your husband tells you, you know, your body, and the way we say it too matters. But whichever way, you know, take corrections. Take corrections. And if you're a man, you're having an affair, like this man said, because, you know, the wife has refused to take correction, I would say, honestly, cheating is not a way out. It's not a way out. You can seek counseling. You and your wife can honestly go for counseling and talk about someone, talk to somebody who you trust, you know, that will not judge you. Yeah, Samantha, yeah, your mouth is smelly. Whichever way you're going to say it. Because husband and wife, you're supposed to be friends. You are supposed to be friends. I tell you people, if you are struggling in your relationship, you need to come to us. We've got men and women in that group, Affairs of the Heart, that are actually transforming marriages. The reason we don't put them on Facebook, because that's a very confidential group. So we don't need to tell you what we are doing in the lives of couples in this community, because we are doing it for God and God sees it. So we don't need to tell you this is what we have done. But honestly, a lot of men are struggling. More women are struggling. Have you ever found out when your wife is always refusing sex? Have you found out why? There's no foreplay. Even when you want to do this foreplay, the breath from your mouth, that, you know, the way it's oozing out, you know, it's oozing. Thank you, sir, Pastor Andrew. The way it's oozing, your wife is turning. He wants to kiss you, he's turning. You're not sensitive to find out, why is my wife turning her face? Why is my husband turning her face? You're not sensitive. When you are about to get married, and thank you, Elizabeth, good topic and to be taken seriously. When you are counseling, when you just start that relationship and you know that this is the person. Some people have actually refused, you know, to date someone because of mouth breath. I can't stand it, you know, but I think I will be able to tell somebody that he smells. Or buy toothpaste. I actually brought this. It's not expensive. I'm not advertising for them, but you know, this is not expensive. Mouthwash. You know, how many minutes does it take you to brush? And when you're brushing, you don't brush your teeth alone. You brush your gum. Find out. You do this. You know, I do it all the time. And when I know that, I think my mouth is smelling, or, enter the bathroom. Because sometimes we are so busy that, you know, you're sweating and all that. And so women too, they can be so dirty. You know, women, we work a lot. We go for school run, we go shopping, we do this, we do that. Then in the night, what do? You just jump on the bed. You just jump on the bed. And when your husband comes, you know, wants to enjoy you, wants to have sex with you, wants to make love to you, even touching your neck alone is already turned off. By the time you open your armpit like this, the man says, oh, I'm tired. You know, I'm really tired. You don't know why he stopped suddenly. Please, as I'm talking, talk to your spouse. You check yourself that, is my mouth smelling? Do I have a bad breath? If I do, is it that I'm not brushing well? Or is it a health condition? Do I need to see the dentist? Do I need to go to the dentist? Odour, thank you for watching. Say, brushing is not enough. You need dental floss to remove the old meat. Thank you so much for your contribution. You see, you need dental floss to remove the old meat. You need mouthwash. Some use salt and water. You know, there's so many things. Google it. You can see so many things you can do with your mouth. Why would a couple not want to kiss? To see women and men sending messages and saying, you know, I can't remember the last time I kissed my partner. It broke my heart. It broke my heart. Or toothpick. Yes, thank you, Odour. You know, I was broken. I was broken. I'm thinking, as funny as this thing is, it is a big issue in our relationship. So when you are dating someone, and for ministers of God, when you are doing your counseling, please put this in your manual. You know, this hygiene, don't just generalize it. Take it step by step on what women should do, on what men should do. Because it's a big issue in a relationship. It's a very, very big issue. You know, it's a very, very big issue. And men, because, you know, your down below is not as, I don't know, the way women are made, you don't bother to wash down there. Some men can wear their pants and boxers for weeks and not wash it. Why? Why? In a country like this where the weather is cold now, a lot of people don't take their baths anymore. A lot of people, they give you excuse of the weather. It says our diet tastes good, but the spices we use smell really bad. Wow. So the African food you mean, I want to believe. So please, after eating, you brush. Don't forget, as you're doing it, your children are watching. If there was one thing I learned from my parents, was hygiene. You know, when my parents wake up in the morning, they go straight. You know, in Nigeria, you have the normal ensuite, your room, has toilet and bathroom and all that. And once we wake up, the first thing our parents will ask us is, have you brushed? You don't go into the kitchen without brushing. You don't sleep at night without brushing. That was how we grew up. And women, daughters, we look up to our fathers. We look up to our fathers. And I used to tell myself, I'm going to marry a man that is as neat as my dad. That man is neat. I don't know if he's going to watch later. Honestly. And it was difficult for me to really make choice, because I just used to think that, I need a man like my dad. My dad cannot wake up without going to brush. Even when he takes the siesta, he will get up and brush. You know, we grew up like that, to see that. So I'm imagining some children did not grow up in that kind of environment. But when you have finished school or you've gone to school, you must have seen people, you know, being neat. So for people that have a fast law, check yourself regularly to make sure no mouth odor. Check yourself. I do. You know, sometimes, especially when you don't talk. You know, maybe your kind of job, you don't talk a lot. Or have you seen when Christians are fasting? Oh my God, you don't want to sit with some people. During fasting, you can't go close to some people. I don't know if it's a sin. If you're fasting, you can, maybe use mouthwash or brush. You know, you need to be very conscious. If your spouse is not complaining, what about people around you? Your church members, your colleagues, if you're in the mosque, you know, when they are fasting, there are some people you cannot go close to. When they say shout hallelujah, you run. We need to be very conscious of our mouth odor. We need to be conscious, and with our body as well. You know, I was talking to a group of women days ago, and they said, oh, you know, you are not talking, you are not in our level. The kind of things you use are expensive. So, I said, come. Shall I not use laugh you at this one? Honestly, shout hallelujah. Oh, you know, you are praying for somebody. The thing is oozing out. And you're saying, God, can this pastor just finish? Or this woman just finish? Be very, very conscious of your hygiene. Be very conscious of your mouth. When I'm going to see clients or this thing, I check. I say, it looks as it smells. I go back. Because of the kind of food we eat, you're laughing. It's laughable, but honestly, my heart was broken when I saw the kind of messages that were coming. It's just that I can't read all of them out. You know, maybe during that event, I will read a lot of them to see that even some couples that I admire, you see them outside and you're like, wow, look at these couples. They don't kiss. How do you enjoy your relationship without that? How do you enjoy relationship without foreplay? How do you enjoy your relationship when you cannot honestly hug your spouse? When you cannot, you know, go close to your spouse when you're lying down or you're on the couch? What of your children? If you can't tell your spouse, what about your children? Don't you know they can perceive it and say, daddy's mouth smells. Mommy's mouth smells. Let's be very, very sensitive when it comes to mouth odor. You know, somebody has said we should use mouth floss. If you eat garlic, you know, garlic is healthy, but please do something about your breath as well. If you're fasting Christians, please, when you're going for evening prayer to break your fast, please try and wash up. Wash, you know, just wash before you go to church, you know, or go to work or do something. But in a relationship, when you are in a relationship and before you really say, yes, I do, and if that is a problem, you need to talk about it. You need to say, you know what, these are the things I like. These are the things I don't like. And when that person is telling you, be attentive, listen. Because those things you think don't matter, matters to that person. You know, it matters to that person. That's why they're saying it. So when you're in courtship, what do you talk about? We talk about couples and people communicate. Communication is good. How do you communicate? What do you communicate about? And this one says, I can't even imagine that keeping quiet and not telling my partner if he has a bad breath or body odor. It must be addressed with love. You know, sweetheart, you know, I think your mouth, I don't know how you say it, but I would just say, okay, if you're a friend to your spouse, honestly, help me out here, married people. If your spouse is your friend, you can say, your mouth, you know, say, really? Okay, let me go and wash. Then you wash and say, is it okay now? Settled. You don't need to argue about it because that's what she feels. And for women, those things matter so much to us that it can really put us off and we don't want to do anything with the man. You know, same with the women. Then, you know, thank you, High Chief. It's a good topic. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Body odor. It is heartbreaking to see that, you know, let me not even go to Africa now. In the UK, how people smell. I want to use that word. I want to be very honest. And when I was talking to some women days ago, I like to do research. I like to ask questions. You know, some people were saying, no, you know, those perfume you use, they're expensive. You use expensive things. I said, you know what? For you to be clean, you don't need expensive things. Come on, those of us in Africa, you know, from Africa, our grandmothers, grandparents, what were they using? What were they using? As simple as Vaseline. You know, you can use this. I brought my children's stuff today. You know, I'm going to quickly take them back before they wake up. They're on holiday. You know, there are some women. I'm going to start from the face. Women, I'm going to talk to you, and men. You know, when I look at news at times, you know, African news, and I'm saying, these men, don't they have wives? Or these women, don't they have husband? Imagine meeting a good-looking man and he approach you only to speak and you pass out. That's it. You take off. A lot of people, you have missed your spouse. You have missed the man God has brought your way because of your mouth odor. You know, women and men, you know your lips is very important. When you are, you know, talking and you take your bath, you can just use this Vaseline. You don't need to buy anything expensive on your lips. You know, when I wake up in the morning, especially now that we do Facebook Live, you go on Facebook and you see these people who are maybe preaching or talking early in the morning. You just know that they have not brushed. You know? Yeah, sweat and all that. If you wash well, you know, your lips are so dry. You can't clean your lips well. You can use Vaseline. And if your body smells, check how long do you put on your clothes. Women, you have a bra. How long do you wash it? How many times do you wear it before you wash? Because it's not about just putting perfume. Whether if you like buy the most expensive perfume, if you don't take care of your body, after some time you will still smell. See, especially during period, oh my God, as ladies, we should always have toothpaste or gums in our bags. We should be conscious of our breath. Thank you so much. Somebody said, I'm trying to read a message now. Okay, Joke Adeni, he said, it's not about perfume. If you don't wash your clothes often enough, you will smell no matter how much your perfume costs. We sweat a lot. We sweat often, and if we don't wash our clothes, then the perfume will not solve the problem. Thank you so much, Joke. Honestly, that's what I was telling the women, as if you were there. I said, if I don't take my bath well, if I don't wash my clothes, you know, if I don't take care of my body, it doesn't matter the amount of perfume you use, you will still smell. You will still smell. So we need to learn to take care of ourselves. Some women walk past you and you can perceive their VG. It's fasting period. You know why? You know, I actually brought all these things. This now links for my daughter. How much is this in the UK? It's not up to £2. Yeah, it's not up to the ashwabi we buy. It's not up to the clothes that we buy. My daughter just bought this yesterday. She told Mommy, I want to go to Asda. I said, what are you going to do there? Apparently, I bought this for her and her cousins. And I said, oh, she went to, I was impressed that, wow. Every time she comes near me, Mommy, you smell nice. She wants to smell nice. If you don't smell nice, your children will think it's okay not to smell nice. Your children will think it's okay not to wash their clothes. Your children will think it's okay not to take their baths. You need to teach your children this, because when they grow up, it's going to affect them. Like Pastor Stephen said, you know, it starts from childhood. Some children become even neat from childhood. Once they get to uni and, you know, they are in their hostels, they're no longer with their parents all the time, you find out that they just leave themselves. You buy all this, you know, how much is cream? This is how much? Coconut cream. Buy those ones that have got, you know, that you smell. I even told women, I said, even in the UK, you can buy this powder. Remember we used to use this at this one. You remember this? They still have it. Imperial leather, you know. As a woman, when you go to bed, if you don't have perfume, those days and all that, we take this powder, we take our bath, we rub it here, we rub it here. You know, you rub it between your laps so that when the man is starting from your legs, exactly. It smells nice. How much is this? How much? How much do you buy those expensive clothes? The shoes you wear, the hair you do, your weave on, your wig. You know? What? So many people have got washing machine. Even when we didn't have washing machine, people used to wash clothes. You know? We used to wash clothes. You soak it and you wash it. These days they have what is it called? Disposable pants. Ladies don't wash pants anymore. You don't wash pants anymore. And by the time your spouse wants to make love to you, you open that place. They do their face like you. And you're complaining he's doing 5 minutes, 2 minutes. You don't know why he's doing 5 minutes or 2 minutes there. We need, thank you, Grace, it's a good topic. We need to be conscious. You know, coconuts, Nivea coconuts. Smells so nice, very cheap. Your hair, the same thing. Even when you braid your hair and all that, do you know you can wash it? You can clean it with spirit and spray so that it's not smelling. Do you know that? Teach your children. It's very, very important. I like to be practical. Thank you, Ruth, for joining in. So what would you do? A lot of people have sent message to say this is a problem. They are even asking me to do an event so they can, you know, bring their spouse for them to weave on. Oh, that one is another topic. I know, precious child. Honestly, we can't talk about this enough for today. It's terrible. Oh my day, weave on is worse. Some carry that weave on for months. I remember one day I went to do my daughter's hair, and she was telling me, oh, how long does your daughter? I said, if it's braid, is this number of weeks, if it's weaving. And she said, you know what? I can actually do the one that your daughter can carry for 6-7 months. I said, wow, 6-7 months, for what? Another person told me, you know, you're wasting money. You can do tiny braids for your daughter to carry for 6-7 months. And I said, why? For how much? For how much? You can imagine the kind of headache that girl will have. You know, we spend money on unnecessary things. We spend money on unnecessary things. We'll be having a relationship event later in the year. Thank you, Pastor Andrew. I would really love to be there. Yes, and that's why in this country, you know, I used to tell my children, I said, is this country I even carry my hair long? Because no time. In Nigeria, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, what are you doing with hair? Of course, I can speak, Pastor Andrew. I'm open to speak in churches, in community centers. Honestly, I'm open. It is my passion to see relationship work well. It is my passion to see relationship rekindled. But relationship cannot be rekindled if we do not address issues that is affecting those relationships. You cannot. It's just, if you check the topic I did, was it last year or 2 years ago, I was talking about, let's talk about sex, which I'm still going to address. You see that a lot of women are so aggressive to their partner because there's no lack of good sex. That's a topic for another day. These are issues that people don't address anymore. They talk about Valentine event. You see everybody organizing event. And at the end of the day, I tell them, you know what? You've gone for this event. You've bought the most expensive dress. You've walked on the red carpet or green carpet or blue carpet. Has your relationship changed? When you were living that relationship with your spouse, what were you talking about? And I'm yet to see people tell me, you know, after that relationship, this was what happened to my marriage. But trust me, the one we did in 2013, I've not had the time to organize one, but we're organizing another one soon. And these people are going to come up again. The one we did in 2013, I can boldly say that almost all the couples who came there, that their marriages were at the edge of breaking down, are living a happy and a healthy life with their spouse. I'm even talking about people who used to abuse their spouse, who came to that relationship event, affairs of the heart, that till today, they still tell me, you know, I have never seen an event like that. And that's the truth. If you know you have done a relationship event in Manchester that has beat that relationship, I want you to bring out your monetary or your evaluation. And I can boldly tell you, to the glory of God, that our relationship event is still one in town. You can't beat it. Because we talk about real issues. There is no point in having relationship events where people just come, they dance, they eat, and do those normal games that people would do. And after the event, back to normal. There's no point. And I told them, when I'm ready, I will do a second one. I don't just do events for doing sake. No, we don't do that. We prepare. So this series we are taking you through is because we are preparing. We are preparing. And you're going to see people who are honest in their relationship that will openly tell you. And that's another mistake that people make. A lot of ministers, sorry to say, you know, I love you so much. When you have this event, talk about yourself. The things that have worked for you, the things that have not worked for you. Let people learn the real way of living their love life. Let people learn. Let people learn. I've been to some relationship events before, and it was time for a question. There was a particular event I went for, and it was time for question and answer. And somebody asked question about maybe sex or so. I don't, yeah. And they couldn't answer it. And they said, oh, this person, I want you to meet me after the event. I'm thinking, why set up a relationship event when you cannot honestly talk about this thing? Why set it up? You know, relationship event, relationship counseling is not for everybody. It's a ministry. It's a ministry. If God has not given you that assignment, don't do it. If you cannot talk to people who are honestly having problems, I've been to a lot of homes where they've got issues, and you know, I will contact their pastors. They will say, oh, there's nothing we can do. Patience. And I go there and I say, okay, when this is talking and talking and talking, and I just throw the question. I said, how is your sex life? How is your sex life? That's a topic for another day. And you will be amazed how many men and women are so aggressive in their home because of lack of good sex, because they can't talk about it. So if people are coming for counseling, what do you counsel them when they are about to get married? Is it just telling them about the Proverb 31 woman, how she's a virtuous woman? Is that all you tell them? You need to let them know the real issues in a relationship. You need to let them know. So please, if your spouse or spouse-to-be, your boyfriend or anybody, your partner, is having bad breath, is having bad body odor, you need to communicate with them. You know, even as children of God, you cannot see somebody going wrong and not tell them. Imagine when a colleague used that to abuse them at work, and they come back to you and say, do you know this person told me that my mouth is smelling? And you, the wife, you say, it's true, Sha, your mouth is really smelling. You think that man will ever forgive you? That you, the wife, you could not tell him that he's got a bad breath. And please, men, when you wake up, brush your teeth, brush your mouth. Don't just be talking about, you go out. Some people can, you know, go as far as 10 miles, 20 miles, not brushing. For what? And your children are watching. You know, your children are watching. I tell my children a lot. My son, I tell him, you need to do this, so that when you get married, you know, or you have a girlfriend, he's not going to be running from you when you're talking. Say, oh, mommy. You know, my daughter will say, oh, mommy, too much information. But you need to. In this country, we are so busy now. Some parents don't know how their children get up to go to school. You don't know whether they took their bath. Go to school. See how children looking so unkempt. Thank you, Chantel. You know, looking so unkempt. Teenagers. There was a particular school I was going to take my daughter and, you know, my niece to. When I went for their open day, that was it. I went home and I changed this school. I said, no way. No matter how good this school is, the fact that these people, I cannot allow my daughter mix with these people. Their hair is so unkempt. They talk to you, you know this child maybe has not brushed for only God knows how long. Their uniform is dirty, they are white. How much do you sell white uniform in this country? You know, their armpits, I was looking at them. This I'm talking about. Children of our own. I'm not saying the white community, they don't have the problem, but, you know, we grew up with so much ideas about hygiene, where we're coming from. And to see that this thing repeats itself even in the UK is alarming. You wake up in the morning, you don't brush, your daughter is looking. Your son is looking. Then you with your smelly mouth, you're telling your child to go and brush. How is that gonna work? Your spouse's mouth is smelling. You can't tell your spouse that, no. Honey, for your birthday, I have bought toothpaste. Let him say, oh, is my mouth smelling? When you're on the bed, when you're rekindling your love life, when this Valentine period that you people go crazy for is coming, what do you talk about? What do you talk about? This is a very serious issue in a relationship. You know, I told you weeks ago that, you know, I actually prepared topics that I wanted to treat. I've had guests. I had a lot of guests on the list. And my mind was pushed to this. Maybe it was Holy Spirit telling me, you know. Sometimes you don't know. I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to do relationship with, I want to do it at first. But I said, let me just start. And the number of people we are talking to on a daily basis, it breaks my heart to see that things like this that we see as common is tearing couples apart, tearing families apart. Please, let's address this. Let's talk about it. Let's let people know that it is not okay. If your friend's mouth is smelling, you should be able to tell your friend. You know, I love my friend, you know, growing up from my childhood, primary, secondary, even up to uni, we used to tell ourselves. We used to tell ourselves, Samantha, you're there, you can bear me witness. If somebody is your true friend, you should be able to tell your friend, my dear, how far now? You know, this mouth thing, have you tried this? Or do you think it's a health problem? Do you know the dentist can help you? Have you gone to your GP? That is true friendship. That is true friendship. Huh? Please, don't just say, oh, it's not my business. I don't know how I'm going to tell the person. Yes, Samantha, we said it loud. And we used to correct ourselves. And we never took offense. Even till now, we still don't take offense. Why should I take offense if my loved one tell me, oh, you know, I think you need to freshen up? I don't need to get angry and say, are you saying I'm smelling? He's told you with love. Are you honestly waiting for him to tell you, yes, you're smelling? Then it comes to fight. Your partner tells you, you know, freshen up. If you don't know, you have to freshen up, and your partner tells you to freshen up. My dear, freshen up with love. Don't take offense, because he's telling you with love. Some men can't tell their wives. Some women can't tell their husbands. They just look for somebody outside and they date the person. And when you come, you say, oh, you're smelling, or you're smelling. Smell. Let's be honest. Because people are smelling everywhere. And when you are fasting, please, just try. Buy chewing gum. I don't like chewing, but sometimes I chew. When I know I've not talked for long and I'm going somewhere to talk and I can't use my toothbrush outside, you know, just put that mint in your mouth and throw it away before you talk. You're hugging somebody, you don't want them to run. The next time you want to hug them, they pretend and walk away. You don't want that. So I'm just going to drop it here. Please, your body odor, your breath is very important in your relationship. If you want your relationship to work, or you're looking for a relationship, please be conscious that, you know, hygiene is very, very important in a relationship. It's very, very, very important. And honestly, if you're struggling, you don't know how to tell your spouse or your partner, or you maybe your colleagues or your friends or family member, you can honestly contact us on our website. Send us a message on www.wonderfullymadewoman.org. If you go on our website, you will see the Affairs of the Heart page, and you will see some of the things that we have done in the past. You know, you will see a lot of things there. And if you go on my YouTube page, Wonderfully Made Woman, you will see topics that I've treated about relationship, about sex and all that. You know, people say, you know, you talk too much, but my talking is healing a lot of relationship, and I'll continue to talk about it because it's my passion to see relationship, you know, rekindled and healed. It's my passion to see families grow in love. So please, this episode is not going to end here. Next week, women, I'm coming for you next week. I'm going to be talking about a topic I have actually addressed a bit, I think 2 years ago. And I honestly want you to open your heart, you know, while I'm addressing that topic next week. I'm not going to tell you that topic. I love this music. Thanks, sis. Put smile on my face today. Now I forgot about my pain. Thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you so much. So please, my dear, everyone, our relationship is very important. Our relationship is important to us, is important to God. Do all you can to make sure that it works. Do all you can to be clean. Do all you can to help your spouse, your partner, or, you know, the person you want to marry to be clean. Make them that person you want them to be. And when they're correcting you to, accept with love and deal with it, you know, with love. So please, on this note, I'll encourage you to watch our episode 1 of Reality Check series, where we talked about I'm in a relationship with myself. That was an interesting topic. A lot of people realized that they were actually in a relationship with themselves. You need to watch that topic. We also addressed issues because sometimes we pray that marriages don't fail, but unfortunately marriages do break down. And when it does, and there are children involved, what do you do? That episode is there. We talked about looking good, you know, addressing issues of mental health, how women's body image has affected their mental health. We talked about that. So please stay tuned. Next week I'll be bringing another topic, and if there's a topic I've not addressed that you really want me to address, you can send me a message and say, you know, I wanted to talk about this particular topic, and trust me, we will talk about it and will be opened, you know, with love. So until the same time next week, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who have been watching, following, sharing the videos to bless others, because when you share the video, you're actually blessing somebody. You know, you are ministry to that person. And for everyone who actually takes part in my survey, in my research on social media, on my messages and email, I want to say thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate it. You know, without you contributing, I can't go far, and I will honestly keep talking about this truth until Jesus tarries. So I'll encourage you today, please talk to your spouse in love. Take him on a date or take her on a date and address these issues. You know, rekindle. Do all you can to rekindle your love life. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, Tina Turner. Do all you can to rekindle your love life. Send me testimonies as well. You know, when I put a topic yesterday, you know, somebody said to me, she showed it to her husband. And her husband said, really, what kind of topic is that? And asked the wife, does my mouth smell? She kept quiet. And later the man said, oh, so my mouth smell and you never told me. You know, they talked about that issues just yesterday. And this morning she told me, you know what, you have healed my home with that message on Facebook. So if you're a minister, you don't need to be in church to just be on the altar. You can minister through your social media, you know. So I was so excited about today, and I said, no, I must do this thing. Even if the internet was playing up, I said, even if it's 12 o'clock, I'm going to do this. So it really encouraged me to see that a couple just yesterday, you know, their marriage was saved by that just simple post I put on social media. So you sharing this video, just know that you are helping a lot of relationships. Until the same time next week, I always want to tell you that you're unique, you're beautiful in your own way, you're handsome if you're a man, you are God's own, you know, and you're loved. And most importantly, that you are wonderfully made. Thank you. Have a blessed weekend, and see you same time next week at 11 a.m. on Word of Sex and Money. Okay, we'll talk about that. people want, but no one talks about. I've actually talked about sex, Pastor Andrew. I've actually addressed that issue. Let's talk about sex. I will look for the video and share it, but I'm going to address it again. But I've actually talked about sex in a relationship. So, yes, go on our YouTube page, Affairs of the Heart. You will see a lot of videos that I've done for the past 2 years addressing issues that people really do not want to talk about. Money issue is another big challenge in a relationship as well. These are issues we're going to be talking about, you know, as we go on talking about this relationship series. Until same time next week, I love you, Adeswa. We're going to be talking about, in June is coming, we have 2 awareness session in June. We have the albino awareness, World Awareness Day. We have the sickle cell awareness day. That's another thing I'm going to be talking about in this series. Sickle cell, you know, is very important in relationship as well. How important is it to check your genotype? Those are issues we want to address when it comes to relationship. So please stay tuned every Friday at 11 a.m. Thank you and God bless you. Bye.